Welcome back to coverage of Bazaar of Mox in Strasbourg. Great to have your company once again. We've got the Modern Master, Patrick Dickman, along with me, Riley Knight, in the booth for round number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be heading down to the feature match area before you know it. Players getting set up there already. We've got a couple of big names down there. We've got a Pro Tour champion getting amongst it this round, Patrick.
Yeah, is it?
It is indeed. I'm telling you, that's the news. We're going to head down there and check out exactly what's going on there. We've seen quite a range of decks today already. We've seen Jesco, we've been Nahiri, we've seen we saw Infect and Affinity last round. These are the mainstays of
several Eldrazi, or at least one Eldrazi Tron deck.
That's right. There's a couple of different things shaking around. Looks like Modern is again.
Yeah, it is wide open.
Can we say back to normal? There's a huge amount of diversity in the field once again. I think the way that Modern was drawn up to be, with some decks top, but any deck really able to sort of have a crack at it.
You can play it.
Yeah, and that's one of the best things about this format is the fact that it mirrors Legacy in the sense that you can pick a deck, stick to it, know it inside out, and hopefully don't get blown out too often by a Bannerino or two, the way that your pet deck may have been done. But notably absent. Oh no, we've seen one. Melira combo deck, but I haven't seen a huge amount of them, or Court of Calling, the green-based sort of combo-y decks. What are your thoughts here today?
Well, I've been walking through the tables a little bit and been watching what the players are playing, and I saw a wide variety of decks, and I also saw plenty of Melira decks. So maybe we just did not have them.
They haven't been. I mean, I would have said that that's been the most amongst the most dominant decks in the format over the last couple of months, and the Kiki Chord or just the straight up Melira / Anafenza combo. That's been really high on people's radars. I think maybe it's coming away. Grafdigger's Cage is pretty good technology these days.
Pretty good against that deck.
Yeah.
I mean, it is definitely you can hate it. Modern has always been a format that is very much shaped by its sideboard choices, because all the decks usually the most important thing about building your Modern deck is your sideboard, because you only have 15 cards available, and the sideboard cards in Modern are really powerful. Like there's certain game breakers, as for example Stony Silence against Affinity, Grafdigger's Cage against the Melira decks, or the company decks pretty much, and you really got to know what you're doing when building up your sideboard.
You can build a Modern deck to beat more or less anything, right? Yeah. Well, we're going to see how things shake out in the feature match here right now. It's time to head down there, see how things are going down on table 1 with our 2 players ready to get at it. And here we are, Remy Fortier, of course, the Pro Tour champion we mentioned, the youngest player ever to win a Pro Tour, just 17 years of age when he claimed his crown. You've been in the top 8 of a Pro Tour a couple of times, Patrick, so you know what it's like to be at the very, very pinnacle of competition in this game.
Yeah, never got a window, but...
on the list, though. On the list.
I'm not so sure about that, but maybe if I get lucky one day.
We'll see how we go in any case. Yeah, it's Fortier on Jund, with Potier on what looks like an Eldrazi list.
Yeah, that's Bundle Eldrazi, like a new competitor in the Modern scene, pretty much the latest iteration of the Eldrazi deck after Eye of Ugin was banned, and they've been replacing some of the choices that were popular before, like for example Chalice and things like that, for mana elves like Noble Hierarchs and Birds of Paradise.
We had a chat about this yesterday, and your thoughts on the Eldrazi deck moving forward. You say you like it now. You think it's in a decent spot?
I think it's. I mean, as always with the Eldrazi, all your threats are pretty expensive, for an Eternal format. I mean, they are also very powerful, but 4 and 5 mana, 6 mana in Drown of Hope, things like that, it's all very expensive. So I've been liking it, but it comes down to your draws a little bit. You really need acceleration, because if you don't have that Eldrazi Temple, or if your opponent kills your mana guy, you're gonna be stuck with several pretty expensive Eldrazi's.
Well, Potier right now is not having any of these issues, because in his hand 2 copies of Eldrazi Temple here. So we're going to see a couple of Thought-Knot Seers enter the battlefield pretty soon, I would imagine. Here's a Tarmogoyf for 3/4. Excuse me. And it's back to Potier.
I think Eldrazi is pretty well positioned against Jund. I mean, of course you can still lose, but I've been liking the matchup so far. Things like Lightning Bolt, not very good against the Eldrazi deck. I mean, they're a little better by now because of Birds of Paradise and things like that being played, but Inquisition.
They're still really not at their best. No, and we saw the embarrassment of Inquisition of Kozilek just before, with only one real target in Matter Reshaper.
Well, Matter Reshaper is a good one to pick up though, so I wouldn't be too unhappy to hit it, but it can happen quite frequently that you're just not finding any card with
Just
it.
nothing there to get. That's right. Well, here is Thought Not Seer, and it looks like it's going to exile the Dark Confident, leaving Fortier with the those two unimpressive cards we talked about, Lightning Bolt and Inquisition.
Did you get to see the third card? I don't know what it was.
It was a Raging Ravine.
Raging Ravine, okay.
Raging Ravine, Lightning Bolt, and Inquisition in hand here.
Oh, right, yeah, there's
Fortier.
a second Inquisition.
Here's the
Does it hit
Inquisition.
anything? Does it? There is Ancient Steerings.
So Ancient Stirrings hits the bin, leaving Portier's hand a little light on action,
Yeah,
although
there's-
with two Thought Not Seers, that could...
The Tarmogoyf is still a 3/4, right?
Just
But
a
there's
3/4
Lightning Bolt in Portier's hand, so he can make it a 4/5. And Portier, I'll call them Julian and Remy because once again the last
Fortier and Portier?
Yeah, it's not that easy. So there's no attacks, like no profitable attacks for Julian right now because of the Lightning Bolt.
And he obviously knows about it after having
But
seen
Remy's
it.
probably just playing Lightning Bolt to the face now because he's not going to kill anything with it, and Fortnite threatening to take it away.
So the Tarmogoyf goes up to a 4/5, holding off those 4/4s rather nicely. A Verdant Catacombs, the last card in hand for Fortier.
Yeah. Julian really in search of Drowner of Hope or Path to Exile.
And this is where the Jund deck really begins to shine. When it's playing off the top of its library, the raw card quality offered by the Jund deck means that it's very happy when both players are hell-bent on an empty board. And I mean, as effectively, both players are here. Portier only having lands in hand.
He's stuck with lands.
And look at this, Dark Confident off the top. That's perfect.
That was a good one, but I would also mention that the Eldrazi deck is not bad at playing off the top either. I mean, like both of them have some bad cards in their deck right now. For example, discard spells not going to do much anymore, like nothing, and the mana dogs also won't be as effective anymore. Although Noble Hierarch would actually be pretty good because then you get to attack the Fortnite Seer. But Tarmogoyf will also get to attack in the backswing.
Portier draws a card.
I think it's a Brushland. So
Yeah, it was a
just
white-bordered
another-
card, so it was. I think you're right in saying that. Eagle Eyes once again.
Yeah.
Patrick Dickman.
Yeah, I'm using the same Brushlands on MTGO, so I need the unfair.
Ah, right,
Unfair.
And it looks like it's back over to Fortier now as he goes searching.
He's going for untapped Temple Garden here, right? But does he have a play alongside? No, I think he just took 2 for no reason, right?
Just the bluffs, mate.
Yeah, but what are you gonna bluff?
Just
Like,
the bluffs.
there's only
Restoration Angel.
there's only Path to Exile in the deck, and he could have just fetched for planes. With,
Restoration Angel, mate.
Okay.
The best card in Magic. He's bluffing it. Here's a Blood Crypt now for Fortier.
I would not have gone with the untapped Temple Garden here. Like, I mean, you can still represent Path to Exile just with the Windswept Heath. Taking 2 damage for no reason does not sound right to me.
Fortier shuffling Fortier's deck here. And Fortier gets now a
The Cola Guns command.
Dark Confident trigger. Goes
Yeah.
down 3 life after having drawn that, but 2 cards a turn is going to put him in a good position here.
And what was the second card drawn? Did you see it?
You can get a good look at what
Yeah,
was
me neither.
drawn off the top there.
The Cola Guns command doesn't really do much right now.
Looks like
The
it might have been a
second card,
land.
seems
here.
to be a land.
Yeah, Bloodstained
And
Mire.
just has to pass the turn back. I mean, a Eldrazi Displacer would be really good right now, and Reality Smasher would also be fine. And yeah, there is a lot of life draws in Julian's deck. As I said, for me, when I played the matchup so far, I've been quite happy against Jund.
Alright.
I mean, Reality Smasher is just so good against the deck that aims at 1-for-1ing you.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's no easy way to kill it off too. It's larger than Tarmogoyf most of the times, and I mean, there's a couple of Terminates in the Jund deck, but
But that's going to cost you 2 cards, yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. There's a Eldrazi Displacer, which is a really nice draw because now Julian finally get to attack. So it's up to Remy to find a solution for that. Eldrazi Temple also gets to activate, gets to tap for 2 mana to activate Eldrazi abilities. It's not just spells, but also abilities.
Here is the Displacer now from Portier. Strong play from him.
But there's probably no attacks for this turn, but he's gonna get to attack next turn. And believe he's working with 7 mana worth of Eldrazi abilities, so it's gonna be another 2 turns until he can activate it 3 times, but 2 times is just good enough.
Fortier goes searching with his Bloodstained Mire and finds his Overgrown Tomb. Usually these decks playing 2 of these Shocklands. 1 Stomping Ground, 1 Blood Crypt, 1 and 2 Overgrown Tomb often is the case.
Yeah, that seems to be the perfect split in Modern. Like almost all of the decks, they are going for 2 Shocklands of the main colors and 1 copy of the other 2. Let's see
And
what
now?
Confidence is gonna pick up. That is a land.
Okay, so a land from the...
And I think there was Abrupt Decay, which does nothing on this board. Yeah, Abrupt Decay, another card that is quite embarrassing against Eldrazi's.
Can it kill? It can't kill the Eldrazi Displacer?
Oh, yeah. Oh, never mind. I forgot about the Eldrazi Displacer. No, then this was a really good draw. Sorry about that.
The Eldrazi Displacer not able to blink itself.
Can only blink another permanent.
I think we may see in response here. No?
No, I think Remy just
there
moved
we
to
go.
attacks. And yeah, there is the Abrupt Decay. That was, in fact, a very good draw because I forgot about Eldrazi Displacers. I'm sorry, I'm silly. And I think there's
Fortier finding an answer in a very timely fashion there.
I think that was a replacement Eldrazi Displacer. Or-
That just freshly drawn
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but
No, it's a Noble Hierarch.
Oh, it's a Noble Hierarch, yeah.
Players moving their cards around in their hands like lightning. So Fortier, we know, in hand, holding at this stage just a Colligan's Command, drawn off the Dark Confident a few turns ago, and he's about to have a target for it too.
I think Julian has to attack with both Fortnite Seers here. I mean, he's ahead on the life total by a little bit, and it's very unlikely that Remy is killing him next turn, but he's getting more and more value out of his Dark Confidence, so I would certainly attack with both Fortnite Seers at this point, because, I mean, I don't think that Remy actually wants to attack with the Tarmogoyfs that is keeping back those Fortnite Seers so nicely right now.
Fortier choosing not to take your advice there, Patrick, and attacking just with 1, so he's going to get in 5 here. But I like what you're saying there. Attacking with both puts pressure on the life total of Remy Fortier and means that Dark Confident becomes closer and closer to being a liability here. As we see Fortier untap, he's going to get another card now off his Bob. See what it is.
It's a Thoughtseize, which is pretty much a dead draw. And I'm not sure if the life totals are being represented correctly, because I think he just took 7 or 8 damage off of 1 Fortnite Seer attack.
Yeah, that doesn't seem right.
That does not seem right to me.
Get those life totals checked out. Make sure that they're correct down there. Make sure those life totals are reflecting the game state. As we see now, a Liliana of the Veil is going to sacrifice Thought-Knot Seer, and it's going to draw a Fortier card as well. Let's not forget, which is very important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, we didn't get to see what it was.
I think it was just a land, or it might be the Blackleaf Cliffs that was drawn. No.
Blackleaf Cliffs. Oh, maybe in the Blackleaf Cliffs that were drawn, because the original one
was just
played earlier.
I think it was a Ghost Quarter, yeah.
Ghost Quarter for Fortier here. Still, that
He's
Tarmogoyf
now out of
doing a
cards.
great job of
But Confident is a real liability by now, because it
getting
threatens to-
close. Yeah.
I mean, at least if Remy's actually on 6.
So Remy is actually, yes, in fact, on 6. Takes another 2 now from this Terminate.
But also Terminate will get rid of the Fortnite Seers, so that's not too bad. I mean,
Draw another card as well. It's always the best thing about killing the
Yeah.
Thought-Knot Seer. So both players discard. Away goes that Thoughtseize again that we saw Fortier get off his Dark Confident.
and Ghost Quarter is not a terrible draw.
No, that's true.
When it comes to the lands.
So important to be able to answer the Raging Ravines of the Jund player here.
And the thing is, it might be exactly what we are seeing now, because Raging Ravine would have threatened a 2-turn kill, and now that is off the table at least. I mean, Remy drew another Terminate, so he's probably going to kill whatever is being played next.
Here's Raging Ravine,
and-
as you can see.
And he also has a spare card to kill Reality Smash.
So it looks like 48 is not going to tap out for his Raging Ravine here, and obviously wanting to dodge the Reality Smash, but also wanting to be able to play around it. Looks like we may have found an Eldrazi Displacer here. Yes, indeed we have.
That is probably just going to die at the end of the turn. Oh, it would otherwise probably just die to Liliana, but Terminate is better answer.
So terminate the Displacer here.
He's
Terminate our own Dark Confident. This is the thing now.
Sense.
Now that 48 is on 4, he risks flipping whatever his 4-drop is, Kalitas, Huntmaster, whatever it is.
I thought he might be considering to terminate the Eldrazi Displacer.
Yeah.
Draw one more card off of the Dark Confident, and then sacrifice the Confident. But
ride or die. Yeah, well, in this case, not going to be doing much riding or dying, and the Raging Ravine is the one that ends up dying here.
And it is now up to Julien to find a kill, and I think attacking with not attacking with the second Fortnite Seer, this spot, especially when he was on a lower life total than we originally thought that he was, might come back and bite Julien, because he would have had to jump block with Dark Confident in that spot, I believe.
Yep.
And
which would mean that he'd one card shallower in his library. Here comes another Tarmogoyf though.
And that should be the end, unless
I think it's now a 6/7.
Yeah, it's a 5/6. I don't think that there's.
There's been a Planeswalker now.
Yeah, but that should be a 5/6 because it's usually 4, like land, creature, instant, sorcery.
Okay, there's no.
And then one Planeswalker. And Ground of Hope would have put Julian back into the game, but now it's probably just over.
Okay, Path to Exile is going to get 48 another land here.
So Julian should be down to 4 here, and essentially gets one more draw step, or maybe if he draws creatures and gets the jump block a little bit. He's going to survive for a little longer. The best draw would probably be one of those threats or Ancient Steerings.
Yeah, Stirrings would get him 5 cards deep. Have a look at find out what he wants to draw here. In comes the Tarmogoyf once again.
And we see Miracle top deck. Thinking about it.
Yeah, having a good think about it.
He's not slamming anything on board yet. It might just be
reading the Raging Ravine here.
Yeah, it might just be a creature that can jump block, but that's not going to be enough when. I mean, Julian is empty-handed, so Remy knows the coast is clear and can just activate the Raging Ravine and attack with both creatures, which would be 4 damage.
Yep, that's going to be enough there. So 48 Jund getting up against Eldrazi in game number 1. Good guys win.
Good guys.
Good guys win.
I'm not sure if there's any good guy among these two.
Amongst these two? Jeez, alright, okay. Man, I think I'm still suffering from Eldrazi fatigue after the long winter that we've been through with this with these cards. And
but by now the Eldrazi is playing fair magic.
Fairer, at least, I think.
Julian had it in the bag if he attacked with the second Fortnite Seer.
Yeah, it would have definitely changed things up a lot. And
he just gave a little too much time to, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Like he was just giving too much time to the Jund deck while having Dark Confident in play. And I mean, he took a lot of damage to it, but the Jund deck is playing a lot of removal spells. So eventually you'll find a way to get rid of your own Dark Confident after netting a lot of value.
So the players hitting their sideboards here. The Jund deck, we talked before, Patrick, about the fact that modern decks really can be configured to beat whatever 75 they want. And I think Jund is the absolute poster boy for that. There, the Jund deck can more or less, can be configured to beat absolutely anything, more or less.
Yeah, I mean its main deck configuration is already pretty well balanced. And I mean, of course, it struggles against some decks because. Like the hyper aggressive strategies, for example, the strategies that need very specific answers are very tough to beat for Jund, because like they're trying to build the deck in a way to like have an even matchup against almost everything. But if you come with very specific threats, it can be tough for them to answer them.
Yeah, that's right. And we say it can be tuned to beat everything, but it can't, or anything, but it can't be tuned to beat everything. And that's really what you have with a 55% deck like Jund. We're going to move over to table number 2 now. Have a look at what's going on our backup feature match. You can see a huge crowd assembled in the bleachers. We've got the feature match area there. Kicking things off here with what looks like a Jeskai control deck.
Yeah, most likely. Or might be Blue Moon, but that's pretty much the only decks playing Demons and Ancestral.
I can see Planes.
Oh,
I can
see.
It looks like a timely reinforcements in the main. Really surprised to see the prevalence of this card
It's not in the main deck though. I think players have already sideboarded.
Already sideboard. Oh, of course.
Because
this
they
is
are just
one
starting
yeah,
a new
right.
game.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is a clue there. There was a clue there to be
Yeah.
seen. Yep. So Julien Henry, we've already seen him earlier on. He's playing the Death's Shadow aggro deck here.
Suicide Zoo. And he apparently won game 1, and this was also something I wanted to talk about when I got to see the Suicide Zoo. It is also one of the newer contenders in Modern, and I think it is like almost unbeatable when it's on the play. Like it's very tough to beat. You really need a good draw or like hope for them to stumble, because it can put up pressure so fast, and if you're not pressuring them, they are free to work with their life total as they want to, because the life total is actually a resource in the Suicide Zoo because of the Death Shadow. Like you're trying to put yourself to a low life total, have your Death Shadow become huge, and play good old standard combo, Tempo Battle Rage plus Become Immense.
And here we see mutagenic growth acting as a bit of a mental misstep there for the lightning bolt that Gillis played, and now it's a Thoughtseize.
Is that Celestial Flare?
Celestial Flare.
Probably soon going to be replaced by our new competitor, Blessed Alliance.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the latest edition from Eldritch Moon coming your way very soon. The Escalade spell.
Yeah, exactly. Because that is pretty much an upgraded Celestial Flare in like every single aspect. Because it doesn't cost double white, which can actually be a problem on turn 2. Like unless you don't want unless you take a lot of damage. And I mean, the option to just pay 2 more and gain 4 life, it's not bad, especially against a deck like Suicide Zoo.
Yeah, absolutely. What you want here, and really, I mean, this is what speaks to Escalade as a mechanic. It's flexible, and flexibility in cards. You know, I mean, we got a chance to talk about the new Duress / Disfigure split card, which. You know, again, you wouldn't pay 2 mana for a Duress and you wouldn't pay 2 mana for a Disfigure.
Yeah.
But if you can pay to do both with 2 cards, you're getting a little bit closer to the thing. So it is a Nahiri control deck versus a Death Shadow aggro on the left here, and Gillis is already struggling to keep his head above water here. Although he does now have this Celestial Flare.
I think he's in a very good position because Suicide Zoo missed the land drop on turn 2. And I mean, Monastery Susp is not going to get the job done. I mean, there's another one which might change things a little bit, but yeah, he has Standard League at hand, so we also know about the Celestial Flare, and as long as you can keep the board clear of creatures, Suicide is not going to win.
I like the fact that Gillis is going to draw some cards here as well, because his hand is looking a little...
it's a little dry by now.
Yeah, well, he's in a Nahiri.
Yeah, he is in a Nahiri, and yeah, it might be opting to just go for it right now, and I don't think that there's a lot of risk in playing it.
Well, do you discard the... Do you activate it, discard and draw then?
I think I just activate it, but I don't
activate
use
it and don't discard, yeah, because it is an optional... It's optional to discard.
Celestial Flare is very good against the Suicide.
I think so. I don't think I'm discard. I don't think there's any situation where I'm discarding Celestial Flare. I think we're just going to see Nahiri go up to 6. Oh no, just come down and kill the Swift Sphere as well. That's also an option.
Oh yeah, it can also do that. I thought it is only enchantments for a moment, but yeah,
no,
of course.
Artifact or enchant. Well, tapped artifacts, tapped creatures, or enchantments.
Absolutely no. Then I also would have done that.
Okay, fair enough. Nahiri, it sort of has 2 built-in defense mechanisms. Not only the killing a creature, it also has the built-in defense mechanism, much like Narset, of just having insanely high loyalty. 6 loyalty is so much. Any point removal spell that is not a burn spell is really good against Suicide Zoo. Yeah.
I mean, they really need their creatures, and I mean, if you kill them one by one, you're buying so much time.
Yeah, it runs into the same problem that Infect has, in the sense that they can end up with all pump spells and they just die to Doomblade.
Yeah. I think both decks are like Suicide Zoo and Infect are very comparable to each other. I think Suicide Zoo is, in my opinion, a little better right now, because it is.
Really?
Yeah, personally, I like it better just because it can be so much more busted. Like there's so many draws that are just almost beatable. If you're like opening up with 2 Swift Spears and chain a few Mishra's Bubbles and Texan Probes or Mutagenic Growths, it's just impossible to win against.
Thought he's going to get rid of that Celestial Flare there anyway. And he has Wild in the Cattle. So Gillies recovering nicely there, Gillis, from the Two double Thoughtseas.
It's interesting to me that he did not go for Temper Garden. I think they're playing a Temper Garden in there, and now the Nakadal is just going to be a 2/2, and it could have been a 3/3. And Maxime just got to draw 3 extra cards off of Ancestral Vision, so that's going to be really nice for him. That's the Lightning Helix.
Oh, and the Lightning Helix as well. Yeah. This is looking really ugly now for Henri, because the Lightning Helix with that 3-life rider as well is something that is going to put the game further and further out of reach for the Death Aggro player here.
I think he's just holding 2 lands right now, though. But the really scary game is game 3 for him, because I mean, on the play, the Nahiri deck, like any deck with Mana Leak in there, is going to be a favorite on when it is on the play, right?
Yeah.
And when you're on the draw, like there's a lot of cards that become so much worse. Like any counter spell is just going to be so much worse. That is Traverse the Ulvenwald, isn't it?
Traverse the Ulvenwald, yes, that's right, from the Delirium tutor from Shadows over Innistrad. So it's
going to pick up a Death Shadow. Right now, Maxime does not have an answer to this.
Interesting little bit of innovation here. I haven't seen that card. You can see it there to search for a basic land, or if you've got Delirium, search for a creature or a land card. So nice little sort of worldly tutor, isn't it?
Yeah, it is worldly tutor. And I don't think that there's any basic lands in the Suicide
text, so it's only for Delirium.
It's only for the Delirium part of the card text. I think Maxime might have just drawn a Path to Exile.
Yeah, look at this. Here you go. So Gillis is just finding all the answers that he needs here to
find out soon enough whether or not he has
contend with her. I think we're going to see a basic land here. Yeah, okay, there you go. Basic forest. Basic forest. Does make sense. You don't want it to just... You don't want your Traverse to be a complete blank ski. And also, it's always nice to get a little bit of value from the first Path to Exile.
My problem with that is that it's probably pretty tough to decide which basic you're going to play, because the Suicide Zoo is a pretty colorful deck.
It's it's pretty evenly spread across 4 colors usually. Well, the white tends to be a little bit less, but definitely
mostly
the Jund
colors.
Silence. Yeah. Down goes the Visions once again. Nahiri up to 8 now. We're going to see discard another copy of Nahiri.
I think Julian is holding Tempo Battle Rage, Becoming Men's, and could not quite make out that last card.
Down to 7 now, Henri. He's going to be looking for some action. Because next turn we can actually get the Flying Spaghetti Monster come through.
Yeah, that's going to be lights out on the spot.
Absolutely. Again, haste, attack. Jeez, yeah.
I mean, he has to.
So Henri needs
pretty much right now.
Needs something like a Monastery Swift Spear or
Goblin Guide.
A Goblin Guide.
Any creature with haste, pretty much. I think there's a Celestial Purge in Maxime's hand, so it might not be one, but
I did see a white card flashing around in there.
It was a white card, and for a moment I thought it might be Celestial Purge, but any removal is fine at this point, I guess.
This looks like a Ghost Quarter here.
I think he just, Julian just passed the turn back, and there's probably Emrakul coming for Maxime. It's gotta be it.
So where is the mother of Spaghetti?
Second card from the top.
There she is. There we go, and that will do it. That'll even things up there. In game number 2, Gillis with Nahiri Jeskai gets there to even the score at 1-1 between Julien Henri and Maxime Gillis here.
Probably a lot of spot removal in the Jeskai sideboard, so that makes things a little easier after sideboarding.
Let's head back over to table number 1 now and have a look at Remy Fortier facing off against his opponent Potier there. Things of 2 between these two here. You can see they're well underway. Game number 3, in fact.
John might be ahead again, because having Tarmogoyf in play and no threats from the Eldrazi player, that's scary for sure. And,
so that game score at the top I think needs to be readjusted there. We're going to get that fixed up if we can, because Fortier definitely won the first game. Not sure about the second. This might be the second. I would imagine this is the second game.
Yeah, I think so too.
Actually it is, because you can see, look at Fortier's life pad. There's only 2 things there. There you go. That's the sort of mate. That's just next level detective work there. That's Batman work, mate.
I think this is the problem that I talked about earlier. Like, you can see from Julian's mana base that there's no Eldrazi Temple and there's also no mana dudes in play. And I just saw a Reality Smasher when he was flickering his cards. And turn 5 Reality Smasher is just still a little too slow. Two more guys from Remy.
Our confident Scavenging Ooze coming down for 48 now.
I think Remy might already be threatened for next turn. Is that right? Like, with Julian at 10 and the Tarmogoyf most likely being a 4/5. And I don't know if there's enough creatures to exile though to make the Scavenging Ooze grow big enough. But there's also Raging Fiend.
Well, the Scavenging Ooze only needs to grow by 1 here. If the Tarmogoyf is a 5/6,
it's probably going to be a 4/5. There's no Liliana in the graveyard, and the Eldrazi deck is not playing artifacts.
okay, so that die needs to be changed there then.
Or maybe that first card, that maybe an artifact? The first card in the Eldrazi graveyard.
Yeah.
It might be an artifact. I just can't make out which one it is, and I thought that they might not be playing any artifacts.
So here's Displacer in the hand of Potier here.
Potier, Julian is under a lot of pressure right now.
And here is the Displacer now, as we mentioned.
This place is much less exciting when you're behind.
Yeah.
Like, unless you have a lot of mana to work with to like stabilize the board,
and
store
prevent
for long
those
enough.
attacks. It's not happening here at the moment. This is the sort of thing that Jun can get on top of. Situations like this, pressing an early advantage.
And we just got sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
We just got confirmation that the first card in Julian's graveyard is an engine explosive, so it's an artifact.
So the Tarmogoyf is indeed a 5/6.
Yeah.
Potier facing down some pretty bad dudes here. Pretty big bad dudes.
I mean, if Julian survives his turn and finds an unplayed ground, he'll have Drowning Hopes. Like, that is one of the cards in his hand. So
it's a gut shot now from Potier here, killing off the Dark Confident.
That means that Eldrazi Displacer will have to jump block, and Terminate is just straight up lethal.
So Abrupt Decay, kill the Eldrazi Displacer, and then exile a creature to grow the Tarmogoyf. And thanks to that gut shot now, doing 2 damage to Potier. That is all she wrote for game number 2 here, and it looks like Fortier's picked it up in straight sets. A solid performance from the Jun player there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Julian should have won game 1, where he missed the attack of one of the support
yeah.
Yeah, after sideboarding, there's a lot more point removal, like maybe some dismembers, things like that, in the Jun deck to like effectively fight the bigger Eldrazi. And yeah, Eldrazi can still sometimes itself by not having the right cards, not having acceleration.
We're going to move over now to table number 2, once again checking in with this Death's Shadow aggro list versus the Nahiri Jeskai deck. Glad to see Jeskai back on the top tables here. A bit of time out of the sun as we see Julian Henry, on 7 life on turn 1, 8 life I should say. Done 12 damage to himself between 3 Gitaxian Probes and 2 Street Rays.
That is insane. I think I've never seen that. That's pretty insane.
We mentioned before, Patrick, that the Death Shadow deck is more or less only 48 cards.
Yeah, I know.
Given the fact that it has 12 free cantrips as well, and we're seeing 6 of those 12 played already.
Absolutely, and I think Maxime is just going for the turn 1 Path to Exile.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why he's going for it right now. I would have waited until the upkeep.
Well, there aren't any. There's nothing in the way of protection. There's no Apostle's Blessing. There's no Vines of Vastwood.
Yeah, so you're just giving Julian free mana to work for his next turn. So yeah, you should like if you want a creature, if you want to use Path to Exile for a creature, but you don't want them to go to the main phase at least. Wait for the upkeep, so that you don't give them an extra mana. Like, I do that quite frequently.
There's really no reason to do it there that I can think of at all.
You can do that quite frequently, for example, against things like Noble Hierarch Birds of Paradise.
Yeah.
Like, wait till the upkeep and kill it then. I mean, obviously they're going to have the mana next turn, but at least you're going to prevent the mana for 1 turn.
For 1 turn, that's right. And now we see Henri here with 3 mana on turn 2. I mean, this could get very dangerous here.
Oh, he's taking another 3 though, because he wants to work with his full mana for a turn now, and I think there's still lightning bolts in Maxim's hand, so that is very dangerous.
Sailing very close to the win indeed. Gillis on a very safe 19, and Henri, on the other hand, at the beginning of his second turn, is already on 5.
Yeah.
Oh, and look at this. Hoot, hoot, out they come.
Yeah.
It's the Mandrills.
Certainly a lot of very powerful creatures being played here very early in the game, but something as simple as lightning bolt Snapcaster Mage is going to end the game. It's
going to end the party real quick, As we see, so two green creatures being played here, a 3/3 and a 4/4.
I think there's another Nakata, a red card and a white card in Julian's hand, but couldn't quite make out what it was. We'll see.
Gillis drawing a card again.
I can see one lightning bolt at least.
Okay, that's going to do half the job. Oh, interesting. Doesn't play a...
I think that was a lightning bolt at least. It might have been... Oh, it was a mountain, but I thought it would be the judge promo lightning bolt.
Yes, it's the John Avon Mountain, of course, Okay. So that would explain Gillis there playing the Celestial Colonnade. I did see a... Celestial Purge in hand.
Celestial Purge is not that good when you're being beat down by green creatures.
No, that's right. Is Henri going to be able to hold on long enough here after a very aggressive start here to his own life total?
I think Julian is in a pretty good spot because there's just Snapcaster Mage and Celestial Purge and lands. So I mean, even if he does go for Snapcaster Mage path, there's still going to be so many creatures that he just can't effectively block. Yeah. So he does want that lightning bolt.
Henri still does have a pretty strong hand, full of creatures. You said.
Yeah.
I can see Street Wraith. I can see
Street Wraith is probably not being used.
Is that a Ranger of Eos as well? It's a very innovative deck.
I don't think that this is Ranger of Eos. I also thought it might
be. I think it is a Ranger of Eos.
Yeah, I saw it, and I also thought it would be Ranger of Eos, and I think it is. Yeah,
it is. It is a Ranger of Eos.
But I just could not imagine the Suicide Zoo deck play.
Maybe 4 mana.
Well. What I think he's doing, he's just playing it in the sideboard.
Okay, that does make more sense.
Against decks that are using Path to Exile. This is something that I did at Pro to Born of the Gods. Like I was playing 21 lands in my Charmer Twin deck because I was expecting to play against Path to Exile decks all day long. Yeah. So and this actually happened. Like, they were just pathing my Charmer Gods all day long. So they were fixing my mana for me. Maybe he's just doing it more or less the same, but playing Ranger of Eos in the sideboard despite not having enough lands to effectively support it.
That's pretty hot. So here we have Snapcaster Mage. We're going to see another Path to Exile here on the Hooting Mandrills. And Snapcaster Mage is on Chumperino duty here, on Healing Salve mode.
This game is like playing out pretty much as predicted. Like if the Suicide Zoo deck is on the play and opens up as powerful as it usually does, it's very scary and almost impossible to beat.
Another Hooting Mandrills here.
Yeah, there's only Supreme Verdict that can save him here, and that was another copy of Snapcaster Mage. So that's game over.
There you go. Gillis just showing the group without anything really left here. I mean, look at that. Just lands and a Celestial Purge, Desperate Lighthouse, Ghost Quarter.
There was Anger of the Gods, and I think it was like pointing at being like, I can cast that, but he does have Ghost Quarter, so if he does have a second mountain in his deck, which might not be the case though.
That isn't usually the case, no. No, Basic Mountain's not at a premium generally, given the fact that...
Not a card that you want to be playing many copies of, unless you're burning the face.
As we bring it back to the booth, ladies and gentlemen, great to have your company, I should say. Pleasure to have your company throughout our fourth round here of Modern, but that is all she wrote for this round. We'll be back with round number 5, of course. Raphael Levy stepping back in the booth before. Very much longer, but a shame to see the Jesco go down. My personal bias, always well.
I think the Suicide Zoo is a good deck. I mean, it's very hard to play, but it's also very hard to play against. Yeah. So actually, although the games usually end shortly, there's a lot of interaction going on, like a lot of decisions on both sides. Yeah,
and I mean, this is what people say about burn decks as well. They're very easy to play. You just throw cards at your opponent's face, but there is a lot more going on under the surface than that.
Especially with the Zoo deck.
And with this one, absolutely. I mean, you're managing another. I mean, often you're trying to manage your opponent's life total. You're trying to get that as low as possible, obviously. But here you're sort of having to contend with another axis, trying to get your own life total low enough and judging where that is,
Yeah.
you know, how low it should be, that's often a challenge for
I
the
mean,
player.
it's not as much of a challenge when you're playing against a deck like Nahiri, because usually you can afford to just go really low. But let's say you're playing against Affinity or Burn, like, you can't do that. You can't be paying 2 life all day long.
Right now, my friends, however, we're going to reset the scene, get ready for round number 5, which will be coming before very much longer. We've got some Cube videos to show you. I know it's a crowd favourite, of course. We've got the Bazaar of Mox and Cube here available at all the events, and we've had the chance in the past to crack it open and have a look at it. So enjoy our little Cube videos, and we'll be back with round number 6, or round number 5, I should say. Before you know it, my friends, don't go anywhere. We'll see you back here at Bazaar of Mox in Strasbourg before very much longer. See you soon.